amount of performing today, both rhythm and melody out of the sight singing book. So I hope you had a good night's sleep and had your breakfast, right? So we can get some energy for what we're doing today. First of all, I would like to have you all turn in your sight singing books to page 5. Let's take a look at some rhythms there first. Okay, let's see here. I also want to draw your attention, well, let's do the rhythms first, and then I'll see if I have time later to do that. Okay, on page 5, let's look at rhythm 119. I would like us to sight read this rhythm together, with conducting, of course, and with tapping. And then after we sight read this rhythm together, I'd like to perform it in a slightly different way by dividing the class up in half. And we'll do it lots of different ways. Okay? So let's look at it first just as normal. Let's see if we can get it under our belt. 119 is in 2/4 meters, so we know we're conducting in 2. Right? And we know that we're always tapping the division of the beat. And so far, I believe all of our rhythms and all of our melodies in both ear training and sight singing have been with the quarter note as the beat. So it's safe to say that we're always conducting the 8th note, at least for now, until we start dealing with some different meters. Okay? All right, here we go. Sight reading through 119 as accurately as we can. Let me give you a measure of preparation. How about a tempo of 1, 2, 1, and 2, and 1, 1, 2, and 1, 1, and 1, and 1, 2, 1. Okay, just like that. Did you notice, for those, well, let's see, you all have me for theories? I think so. Look at measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 and 6. Do you see how they sound identical? Kind of goes back to what we were doing just at the end of the last unit in theory. I would accept either notation is correct in terms of the meter. You can show both beats with a tie, or you can use the dotted quarter note with an 8th note. Either one is fine. All right, so now that we've done that, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 only. Okay. This is what I'd like to do, just for variety. I'd like you two over here and Kelsey, I'd like you to be sort of a group with this rhythm, and then I'd like all the other 3 ladies over here, you could be another group. And I would like to try it this way. I would like group 1, I'd like you to perform measures 1 through 4. And then I would like this group over here to perform the last 4 measures, measures 5 through 8. But I want everybody to be conducting and tapping all the way through. It's just that this group here will vocalize the rhythm for the first half, measures 1 through 4, and your group over here will vocalize or speak the rhythm for the second half, okay? All right, let's see how we do. I'll get you started and I'll conduct and tap through everything as well. So I'm going to rely on you 3 to get us going. I want a tempo of 1, go. 1 and 2 and 1, 1, 2 and 1. In this group. Okay, yeah, that's the idea. Boy, it'd be nice if we had all 12 of our students in this class in here, and it'd be twice as strong. I think we have about half of that right now. All right, so good. I wanted to see how that went. Next thing I'd like to do also with this rhythm is I'd like to perform it as a, and rhythms can always be performed as a canon. You guys know what a round or a canon is? Have you heard of that before? I'd like to perform this rhythm as one. We're on page 5, by the way, looking at rhythm 119. How about this? So I want to do it in one measure, okay. So group 1, you know who you are, and you can be a member of group 1 as well. Okay, I'll be a member of group 2, so we have 4 and 4. Right? So group 1, you're going to start us, and you're just going to perform rhythm 119 as normal, from beginning to end. Group 2, what we're going to do is we're going to wait till they're at measure 2, and then we're going to start at the beginning, and we're going to perform the rhythm as normal, as written. Okay? All right, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. You guys are starting us, and then we'll start a measure later. Tempo is 1, 2.
1 and 2 and
1 and 2 and 1 and 1, 2 and 1 and 1 and 1, 2 and 1, 2, 1. Yeah, that's the idea. Okay. Did you guys get enough sleep last night? I feel like I'm the only one that's peppy at the moment. And I'm usually not the most peppy person in a room, with a group of people. All right, so there we go. That's a little bit of rhythm practice. Give me a minute. I would like to, no, you know what? Maybe I don't need to do that. Maybe I'll just do it this way. I'll just tell you that on Canvas, yesterday afternoon, I put another kind of thing on the assignments page, and that is rhythm quiz for Unit 2. Rhythm quiz for Unit 2. And what I did is, just like last unit, I've assigned you all a rhythm from this unit, from the assignment sheet, that I'd like you to perform and videotape yourself doing, and then send it to me as you did last unit, just the same way, because everybody's worked just fine. I was able to view them all. And all that I'd like to have, I'd like you to have it into me by October 8th, which is a Thursday. The reason I picked October 8th is because on the assignment sheet, I believe that is the last, where's October 8th? Yeah, that is the last day where we have a rhythm assigned for class, okay? So, and this is all on Canvas, by the way. Just go in there and look down under sightseeing quizzes, and you'll find rhythm quiz unit 2, something to that effect. And then click on it, and I'll have all the explanation in there, and I'll have the rhythm that you were assigned and everything, and it'll tell you when it's due, and so on and so forth, and it'll give you a way to submit it to. Submit your media file, your video recording. Rather than going into Canvas right now, because it might take a while to connect and bring the TVs up, I will tell you what I've given you. Let's see, Libby, I've given you rhythm 128, which is on page 7, and I've given you the top part only. So rhythm 128 is 2 parts. You can see there's 2 separate lines. You just have to perform the up stem part. Okay. And that'll be yours due up until October 8th. Let's see, Caitlin's not here. Okay. Glenn is not here. Sammy, I gave you rhythm 119. Look at that. We just did that like 3 times today. So, yeah, there's nothing out of the ordinary for 119. Kelsey, I gave you rhythm 128, but I gave you the bottom part. Okay. And again, this is notated on Canvas. Lauren's not here. Becca, I gave you 128, also the bottom part. Okay, there's some overlap here. Let's see, who's next here? Fiona, I gave you rhythm 123, just the first 2 lines. The first 2 lines of 123. Let's see, who else is here? Tyler, I gave you rhythm 124, and I gave you the last 2 lines only. Because 123 and 124 are kind of long, I don't need you to do the whole thing. So 124, the last 2 lines. Megan, I gave you rhythm 124, the first two lines. You can mark it in your book. Otherwise, you know, you can always go to, you know, if you forget what I've assigned you, just go to Canvas, look in there for what it is, and I've got all the information in there for you. And then finally, let's see, Glenn, I gave you rhythm 128, which is on page 7. I gave you the top part, or the upstem part, okay? And that's what you'll be responsible for videotaping. And again, the due date for all that is October 8th. I wanted to make a point to call your attention, draw your attention to that, and let you know so that it's not a surprise whenever October 8th gets closer, whenever it gets nearer. Does anyone have any questions or comments about the rhythm and or what to do for the rhythm quiz? I was actually really pleased with how the rhythm quiz, the videos and everybody's went last unit. I thought it went really great. I didn't have any issues. I don't know about you, but I'll continue to do one of those each unit until we, you know, get to the end of the semester. So, very well. Now, the next thing I'd like to do is turn in your books to, let's see, find melody 233. I think that's on page 19? Yes, page 19. Oh no, wait, I lied. Page 18, I want to do another one first. Page 18, number 227. Okay, we're going to go to, I'm going to go to the piano, I'm going to give us a tonic. What pitch, looking at the key of 227, I'll ask you to read my mind and predict the future. What pitch am I going to go over to the piano and play to give us do? Which one? G. G. Yeah, because 227 is in the key of G major, that's right. So I'm going to go there and give you a G. We're going to sing a major scale up and down with hand signs. Oh, and we're also going to vocally start arpeggiating the tonic triad this unit. Now again, in theory, we haven't really gotten to the tones and the components of the tonic triad, but that's okay, we're still going to do it here. We just need to know in this class that the tones of the tonic triad are do, mi, and sol. I guess I can put the high do up there as well. When you think about the notes of the scale, that's scale degrees 1, 3, 5, and of course scale degree 8. Those form the major chord built on the first scale degree. So we're going to sing the scale, then we're going to arpeggiate the tonic triad. That vocal sightseeing mask, or whatever you want to call it, that really just starts to pinch into my bones. So I'm just going to, I think, stick with this mask for now, unless I run short of breath. All right, let's do the scale first. Ready? Pick an octave. Here we go. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Now let's give this a try. Ready? Do, mi, sol, do, sol, mi, do. Yes, the more often we arpeggiate the tonic triad, I'm hoping that the more the sounds of these anchor pitches, do, mi, and sol, will get ingrained in your head, and you'll hear the relationships between them and the intervals between them. Let's see how we're doing. Yeah, okay. So I'll make sure we're not getting too flat. All right, so now we've got our tonic, we've got our do. Does melody 227 start on do? No, it doesn't. What does it start on? And be selfish with your answer. Starts on me, that's right. Okay, you know, it's okay sometimes to be selfish in this class, but that's the only time. All right, so if do is do, or do, where's me? Can you hum it? Okay, that's where we're going to start. And let's see, who can I? You guys are all. You know, I actually had I had a student in Aural Skills 3 last week during the sight singing test, and I asked him, "What do you do with your right hand?" And it was like, say, melody two, whatever. It was an odd numbered melody, and he didn't know. And I was like, "How can that be? This is the third semester." Can anyone tell me what we're doing with our right hand for 227?
Conducting.
That's right, we're conducting. That's right. Odd we conduct, even we hand sign. So, pick an octave, and why am I hand signing? I don't know. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start on beat 4. I'm going to give us 3 beats, and then we'll come in together on beat 4. How about a tempo of 1, 2, 3. Mi, re, re, do, re, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, re, re, mi, fa, mi, re, do, si, la, si, do. Well, that gets pretty low there at the end. I think when we do it again, I'm going to sing it up an octave. Okay, now is everyone doing this part, the left hand tapping? Always tapping the division, which in this case is the 8th note. Okay, that's the new component I'm adding today, and it's something that we'll be continuing throughout all your semesters of oral skills, however many semesters you are required to take for your degree. All right, let's do it one more time. Let me check the tuning. This time I'm going to sing in an octave higher, so it sounds a little more peppy. You got your mi, you got your first pitch. All right, one more time through. Same thing as before, 3 beats and then we'll come in together. 1, 2, 3. Mi, re, re, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, mi, re, mi, mi, fa, mi, re, do, si, la, si, do. Yeah, okay. As long as you can do this by yourself on your own. Right? Next, let's see, let me check my schedule. Yeah. Today's Tuesday, right? Okay, so Thursday, next class, I'm bringing back the bang. I know what the bang means, right? And I'll be drawing 2 names, of course, for every class they're on until we get through everybody. So, and I always quiz on a melody that is assigned for that particular class. So as long as you're able to do this, as long as you're working through these and you're practicing them and being able to sing them, that's kind of what I'm asking for, that you stay up to date and current with the rest of the class here and making progress. All right, now we've done that one. The next thing I'd like to do is give you a slight change about one of the melodies that I have assigned for next class. For Thursday, I have assigned melodies 230 through 233. And if you have a pencil, I guess if you bought your book, you can mark it with a pen. For melody 232, do you see how it's 3 lines long? I don't know why, it just seems like it's extra slow or it takes extra long. But for 232, I'd like you to just cross out the first 3 measures. And so for 232, when you learn that or practice that, just start in measure 4. And just practice from measure 4 to the end. That's for melody 232. Just looking at the key signature, who can tell me what key 232 is in?
E flat major.
E flat major, that's right. And I just prefer that you start in measure 4 right there with, we're in the bass clef, right there with do, with an E flat, a long E flat do. Okay. So from now and into the future, 232, I have just crossed out the first 3 measures completely. We can just skip them, ignore them, and just pretend that the melody starts with measure 4, right on do. So I don't know, for some reason, I guess a few of these melodies in this book, they seem like they're really long or they're really drawn out, and they don't need to be that long. You still get enough practice with the rest of the melody. Okay, anyway, so I've told you about that. Next thing I'd like to do is, let's see. Yes, now I want to go to melody 233. This is another one that's assigned for next class. And this one I'm hoping to, once we learn it, I'm hoping to sing kind of as we'll find a way that we can sing it as a duet, kind of as an ensemble, rather than just everybody singing together. Okay, 233 is in the key of blank.
D.
D, that's right, D major. And it starts on what scale degree or syllable?
So,
That's right, starts on sol. Starts on A or scale degree 5, or scale degree 5 in D major. Okay, let's get a D. I'm gonna start asking somebody to, do you guys have apps on your phone where you could just like play a note?
yeah.
Yeah. Instead of walking all the way over here, I guess I should ask you to just give us the note for me on your phone. All right, scale first, then we'll do arpeggiation of the time trial. Here we go. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Ready? Do, mi, sol, do, sol, mi, do. Now, who can hum a sol? I thought I heard it there. Sol, yeah, that's it right there. This happens to be conducting. So you got to make sure you count well in this one, so that you observe all the rests. All the rests. So we're starting on sol. Let's read through it together. I'll give us a full measure. How about a tempo of 1, 2, ready, and go. Sol, 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 la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. 3, 4. Re, mi, re, do. Re, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Okay, I know it goes kind of quickly, and I don't expect it to be perfect, especially with all this. But I think we'll do it again in order to get it under our belt. Remember, if your conducting is off, or it gets off somewhere in the middle of a melody, I think I've mentioned this before, a good place to get that on is to just wait till the rest of the class is on beat 1 of another measure. Wait till the downbeat, and you know that the downbeat is always, you can get back on with the rest of the class. Okay? And we know our 4/4 time signature gives us the 4 pattern, which means we go to the left for beat 2, to the right for beat 3, and then up for beat 4. Okay, you still have your pitch, you still have your bearings. So, let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, and go. Sol, 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 la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Re, mi, re, do. Re, mi, fa, mi, teaching is that there are mirrors, lots of mirrors in here. And even out of the corner of my eye, my peripheral vision, if I can't necessarily see you're conducting, I can see some reflections, and I see that everyone is supposed to be synchronized and on the same beat, so that kind of helps me. I don't know, it's weird, I can perceive that a little more in this room than I could in the previous room. Okay? All right, now, let's do this with this melody. Let's kind of, I don't want to change it up. What I've done is I've written the melody down on a half sheet of paper, and I've just shortened or changed the rhythms of just a few notes. And that's it. And I found out that by doing so, we can sing this as a duet. We can divide up in half. And so I'm going to give you this half sheet just so that we can practice a little ensemble work here in class. So you take one of these, and we'll divide up into groups momentarily. So we got two parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know what to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's 8 people here. Okay. All right. So, I know why. Because Glenn, you came in. I was counting before you were here. Okay. That makes sense now. How about 1, 2, 3, 4? Kiana and everyone over here. Can you be part 1? The top staff. I mean, we're all in bass clef, it doesn't matter, but you're going to be the leaders. You're going to be part 1. And then you four ladies over here, Kelsey and everyone this way, you're going to be part 2. And you're going to just read, this is basically the same melody, I just changed the rhythm of a few notes. We're just going to read through this as it's written and see how well it goes together. Okay. So I think what I'll do is I'll start singing with this group, and then I'll shift over to this group when your entrance comes in. Okay? So don't necessarily, group 1, don't necessarily listen or rely on me for everything. You've got to hold your own part. Oh, check this again. Okay, for the leaders, here we go. I'll start with you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sol, 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 la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Re, sol, 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 la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Fa, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Re, mi, fa, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Sol, 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 la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Re, mi, re, do, mi, do. Okay, what happened in group 1? Yeah, there were those spots where you have re, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, re, do. I think those are the spots, I heard you guys, but I think those are the spots where it started to get a little more muffled. Okay. All right, I think we need to do this again. I'm not going to go to the piano for pitches because I think we're okay with pitches. Do, sol, take your pick. All right, can we do this again? Leaders, followers? Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and go. Sol, 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 la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Re, mi, re, do. Re, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Re, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, now. Let's do it one more time, but the parts are basically identical. Let's switch. Have you be the starters, the leaders, and you be the followers. Followers, just be aware in the very last measure, I've added just a few notes so that it comes out and ends together. Okay? So you're going to be, in other words, this is now group 2, this is now the top staff group 1. Alright, last time through, hopefully it'll come out good. I'm going to start over here. Here's the tempo. 1, 2, 3, and sing. So, 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 la, so, fa, mi, re, do. Here we go. Mi, re, do. So, fa, so, re, mi, re, do. Mi, fa, mi, fa, so, la, mi, re, do. Re, mi, so, so, fa, so, fa, mi, re, do. Re, mi, re, do. So, so, re, mi, re, do. Mi, fa, mi, fa, so, fa, mi, re, do. Okay. Now, wouldn't that be weird if next class, one of the melodies I quizzed on was 233? Have you sung that enough now that it's kind of stuck in your head? Yeah, okay. We better move on to some ear training for the rest of the class. Let's do that. You will not need your ear training books today because I'm going to be working on some note recognition. So what you do need, however, is can you take out a piece of scratch paper? It does not have to be staff paper because you're not handing it in. But on your piece of scratch paper, I'd like you to write down room for 6 note recognition problems. Okay, for this unit, I'd like us to stretch or challenge ourselves, stretch our listening just a little bit so that by the time we get to number 6, we can try to identify 4 notes played after a scale. I think what I do, just so you know where I'm going with this, the last unit, note recognition, I think I go up to 5 notes for you to identify after a scale. And I think that's the maximum I do. Because after, I figure, if you can identify 5 notes after a scale, anything beyond that is basically melodic dictation. Okay. So number 1 is going to be 2 notes, same with 2 and 3. 4 and 5 will be 3 notes to identify, and then 6 will be 4 notes to identify. Remember, again, I find that the best way, in fact the only way I think to do this well, is you've got to have a fixed point as to where do is, either the low do or the high do or both, right? Because if I'm playing like la and ti, then you can compare it, those pitches, to where the high do is. They're closer to the high do than they are to the low do. If I'm playing pitches from the scale that sound lower, like re and mi, then I would compare those to where the low do is. Now, fa and sol, they're kind of in the middle. Hopefully sol will start to become almost as much as an anchor point or a reference pitch for you as much as tonic. Tonic is obviously the strongest, most solid, most important reference pitch in my mind, but I think sol pitch is a strong second. Okay? So if you can hear the do, sol, and by the way, later on this unit we're going to learn the perfect fifth interval, which is what I just sang. And that'll help solidify your finding of do and sol. All right. It doesn't matter what key I'm in the first one, I'm going to be in this key. Okay, so let me play the scale. 2, different key. And your 2 pitches are. Let's go to the next one. I don't, do you guys, does it matter if I play it the scale both hands or with just one hand? Is it the same for you either way? All right, I'll go back to one hand. Here's number 3. It's in this key. And here are the 2 pitches. Does anyone feel a strong need for me to play another note after that? If you have a strong need or you feel like that last pitch I played was a strong tendency tone, I hope that gives you a hint as to what scale you're in. All right, what are we on? Number 4? And here's the scale. Now we have 3 pitches. Once again. Number 5, the next one. And the 3 pitches. familiar to me. I have a feeling I did that one before. At one point. Let's hear it one more time. Does anyone want to volunteer for number one? What they have?
Soul and dough.
That's right. You got it. Soul and dough. That one's pretty lousy. Okay. Soul and dough. Number two. Anyone want to try?
Me and soul.
Good. That's what I have. Me and soul. Number three. Any takers?
Law and tea.
Law and tea. Isn't that weird if you just kind of play a T and you leave it hanging there? That's rough on the ears. Number four, 3 pitches. Say what? Okay, those are the right pitches, but in the wrong order. It was actually mi, sol, do. So you just have to take your dough that you started with and just put it on the end. That's what I have, mi, sol, do. Number 5. Do you know? Ooh, close. It is stepwise ascending, but it didn't start on law.
Right.
Yeah, it started on re. Okay? So it went up stepwise, so that means it must be re, mi, and fa. Let's see if I can quick play that one again. That one was in this key. Okay, so here's the first note. You have to think, do, re. You hear how that's just a step above? If you've got a solid do, the first note is just a step above do, so that's got to be re. And then, yeah, you were right to hear that it was ascending stepwise from there. So you're using what you can pick up on. If you get the first note, then hopefully the next two will come from that. Good. And then number 6, gee, I should have come up with something else. Who wants to do number 6?
Ti, do, re, do.
That's right. Tito Rado. I hope as we do this, practice this every now and then, occasionally throughout the semester, I hope that this gets a little bit better. The more you know about intervals, both in this class and in theory, is going to help you with this. The more you know about scales is also going to help you with this. And obviously, the more you can retain and remember do, your reference point, your fixed points that just never move, that will also help you with this as well. Now, as we get ready to part or go, you'll notice in your assignment sheet that the ear training assignment is not out of your ear training book, nor do you have to listen to anything online for it. We've got an even number, thankfully an even number of people here. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to give each of you a half sheet, and I wanted you to get together with one other person in this class and just do the same thing that we did here, do a little note recognition. Do a little note recognition. Okay. What I have 2 half sheets. One of them will say underneath the name, one says partner 1, and the other one underneath the name says partner 2. It doesn't matter who's partner 1 or partner 2. But they're set up so that partner 1, when you play the scales and the pitches, partner 2, you fill in the blanks. And then partner 2, you can play the scales and the pitches, and partner 1, you fill in the blanks. So it's kind of, they go together, they complement one another. That's kind of how they're set up. And whoever your partner is, you can ask to see their paper, that's fine, and you can figure out how it all goes together if you don't understand. Anyways, can we, is it possible that we could just pair up really quickly so I can give each person a partner 1 and a partner 2 sheet? Okay, who would like to be with whom? Okay, I'll give you a partner 2, I'll give you a partner 1. So the only work training assignment for Thursday. Okay, so I'll give you a partner 2, since I have that on the top. I'll give you a partner 1. Are you guys comfortable playing these? I think I only have a few scales, C, G, and D major. Can you play that on the piano? Are you guys at that point in?
I can figure that out.
You can figure it out, okay,
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Are you paired with Tyler? Okay, so there's partner 2, there's partner 1. And then by default, if you guys are okay, here's partner 2. And here's partner 1. Yeah, so hopefully it only take like, 15, 20, whatever it takes. Hopefully you can just find a time between now and Thursday morning class you can go into practice, or you can do it wherever you have a keyboard. All right, and that's it for today, so.
Even if it's not.
Oh, no, you can still turn in, that's fine.
Okay.
You're good. I'll take it.
There's B. That's my new favorite. Is imitate like Snapchat filter.